As they'd say in the Cars movies, Mattel is really firing on all cylinders right now. I mean, in every line they have going, they're putting out brand new stuff and consistently, whether it be the 155 scale diecast line, color changers, and of course mini racers, which we'll be looking at today, unboxing and reviewing all of what you see in front of you. I mean, we got stuff from Cars on the Road, so that's very timely, but we also have the nostalgic stuff like Snot Rod here from the 17-year-old movie Cars. So a great mix of stuff, even Cars 2 with Shu Todoroki back there. And so yeah, we have 10 brand new mini racers, but obviously way more than that with the multi-packs and all that to unbox. Very, very excited to get into it. But before we do, I want to shout out GetMeCollecitlbes. Check out his eBay store linked in the description below if you want anything Cars related. He has a lot of these mini racers that you see here for sale. So we're going to dive right on in with the multi-packs actually, because they are kind of the least exciting things here for me. And this is the least exciting piece, this Mini Racers Variety 15 pack exclusive to Target featuring Carbon Racer Shu Todoroki. It's actually the oldest item that we'll be unboxing today, I think. Pretty sure of that. Came out last summer. And the reason I hate it, actually that's kind of a strong word, but the reason I don't really care for it is not because there's only one new item in this giant like $30 set. I've come to accept that. They did that with Will Rush, Funny Car Mater, and then they really kind of screw you later by releasing them on their own or in a 3-pack, but that's neither here nor there. The problem with this is that this is Carbon Racer Shu Todoroki. And let me remind you, they have not released regular Shu Todoroki yet. So for whatever reason, they leapfrogged the regular version of Shu, even though they were on a good little run. Like they did Carlo Veloso, Francesco Bernoulli, Raul Cerul. So you know, we were about a quarter of the way deep into the World Grand Prix racers. The next logical one, I guess, you know, Jeff Gorvette or Lewis Hamilton. Whatever, but Shu Todoroki is, I guess, their choice, but they're giving us the like weird transcontinental race of champions variation of him, and it's not silver, you know, that would have made more sense. And then you have Ice, Neon, Carnival, and they chose Carbon. It's super weird to me, and it scares me that Mattel thinks that this is the regular version of Shu, because I mean, you ask most people in their department right there. I mean, maybe they know something I don't, but you ask them that and they're like, yeah, I mean, it would make sense to maybe release the regular Shu first and then release this down the road. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe we will get the regular Shu Todoroki soon, but I am fearful that they look at this and I don't know. I mean, it's not like crazy or anything to assume that, oh yeah, that looks like regular Shu Todoroki. Only us. I mean, I don't know. If you've seen Cars 2, you know it's not, but it can be an oversight for sure. Anyway, we're going to put that to bed and just focus on what's in front of us here. This pack also includes the World Grand Prix Lightning McQueen, Radiator Springs Ramon, which is another exclusive now turned just regular old release. You have the King, Cruz Ramirez as Francis Belbine, Fabulous Hudson Hornet, Mater, Natalie Certain. That's such a forlorn character now. APB, Blind Spot, Jackson Storm, Chick Hicks, Carlo Veloso, Sally, and Luigi. So none of these characters really have anything to do with each other. It's not like this is the Radiator Springs 11 pack with Lizzie with Radio or whatever. It's not like they all appeared in the same scene. They're from across multiple movies and even outside of movies with Carbon Shu. And then the back shows some other stuff you can get. You could see, of course, the pack that Radiator Springs Ramon was originally released in. You have George Newman, who was also an exclusive at a time. You have the gold Cruisin Lightning McQueen here, which I have in the back. We'll do that one today as well. These were all included in my last Mini Racers unboxing, which I'll link in the description below. Same thing with these three. And they did put Jonas Carvers along with a bunch of other single releases. These are all from the single boxes. So Jonas is also in my last unboxing. All right, so yeah, there's that. Let's bust it open here. I hate the glare that these things give, so I'm going to turn it around. But yeah, I remember I found this. It's in a Hunt episode, in fact. You know what? I went to Target that day thinking I would probably find this, or at least I was going in there hoping, I know that sounds so bad after how I just bashed this pack, but I was kind of hoping I'd find it because there was nothing else to be found at Target at the time. So the only reason I was going in there was to get this. And yeah, I remember saying in the Hunt episode that I like pain because I forked over $30 for this, which doesn't make sense. But anyways, I want to give a big shout out to Astro Smokey for hooking me up with this 10-pack here. It came out in Australia, and for whatever reason, these 10-packs are pretty much only available down there. I think maybe in Canada they had the George Newman pack or whatever, but Australia is kind of like the home base for these 10-packs. You know, that's where Steve Slick LePage, that pack was found, along with, of course, the Radio Springs Ramon one, etc. And this is just the next in that long line there. So big thanks to him for helping me snag this one. Now, these all kind of makes more sense being together. You know, you have Lizzie, Flo, Fillmore, Red, Doc, Sheriff Luigi, Ramon, and Mater. Sally got the axe, I guess. But this is a pretty cool release. It kind of is a callback, you know, to the 155 scale version of Gold Cruisin' McQueen that came out way back in 2009 in a DVD release of Cars along with Metallic Rescue Squad Mater. So that's another just odd pair, but it'll be cool. We'll compare it to the regular version of Cruisin' McQueen. Golden Cruisin' Lightning McQueen. Glad they got the name right there, but put golden in parentheses. They do that a lot for whatever reason. Like they put golden in parentheses in the golden release of Rust-eze McQueen from 2021. And on the back of this packaging, you could see a lot of the same stuff, just kind of arranged a little differently. So let me bust this one open now. This is a way more exciting exclusive, and it makes much more sense to me than Carbon Shu. I mean, you could argue, you know, against that, obviously, but my argument for it is that if you're going to have these exclusives, you know, in multi-packs and have them be the only new thing in them, you don't want them to be like essential to completing the set. You know, you don't want to put, let's say they've released all of the World Grand Prix racers in 2024 except for Rip Kluchkineski, and they make him like a multi-pack exclusive. Like that's kind of cruel. But for more special editions like a gold Cruisin' McQueen, it makes more sense to me. And yeah, this guy looks really good. They've done other gold minis in the past, so it's not like this is totally out of left field. And yeah, he looks really good. So I'll be excited to take a closer look at him. All right, let's go to this 3-pack here. So this was from a couple waves ago. It's from the wave before those two, but it was also included in that case. So if you missed it, which is kind of hard to do, I literally see this pack at every Target I go to these days, you do have another chance to get them. At the time, Ivy and Road Trip Lightning McQueen were new releases in this pack, so that's kind of nice. You have Mater accompanying them. I'm glad they don't try and pass this Mater off as Road Trip Mater, like in the 155 scale diecast line. Now, Ivy is also available in the single boxes, but Road Trip McQueen is not. In fact, the one that's in the single boxes is metallic. And speaking of metallic, Ivy here is very much so metallic, and yet this is technically their like normal release of her. So don't ever expect a metallic version of Ivy because it already is, even though it really shouldn't be. But yep, there's that. And here's your Road Trip Lightning McQueen. We'll compare this to both variants in the 155 scale line here momentarily. And then yeah, here is Mater, who is exactly the same as every release that's come before him, dating all the way back to 2017. I remember the minis were so fun to find back then. You know, there was only a few of them to get, exclusive to Walgreens and like Best Buy. It was fun. All right, let's go with this one here. This pack's a little upsetting because DJ was a 3-pack exclusive last year. Well, I guess maybe like 2 years ago now, something like that. And now he's in a pack with another new exclusive. So it almost makes it seem, and honestly, it's not really a secret at this point, Mattel is going to in the future release another 3-pack. It's going to be, let's say, Snot Rod, DJ, and exclusive Wingo. And then after that, it'll be Wingo, Snot Rod, and exclusive Boost. It's just how they're doing things when they could have released 3 at one time. Nope, they're going to trickle them out. I've come to accept that, though, and I'm really excited to check out what Snot Rod looks like as a mini. One of my favorite characters, and just in the sense of nostalgia and iconic look to him. But Max also in this one, he was kind of a coveted single box release, so it'd be nice for people to get him. Snot Rod. So the thing about mini racers, if you're trying to collect them all and trying to save some money, just be patient with it, man. Like, they released this pack here. It makes more sense. Let's say, I don't know, let's travel back a year or two now. You don't buy the DJ pack. You wait for the Mac to be released somewhere else. You pick up this pack and you get 3 new minis all at once. So maybe, a present day example is you skip this pack and you wait till next year when they do like Snot Rod, DJ, and Wingo, or Snot Rod, DJ, and Boost, and then you get 3 at one time. Looks like my DJ has a little bit of a dilapidated spoiler. It's a little bendy there, but yeah, this is a really great mini. I remember really loving it when I unboxed it over the summer. I think, yeah, it came out last summer. Very cool. We have Machosaurus here. Another really nice mini. I think I have a couple of him now. He was included in some other pack. Yeah, he must have been included in the DJ pack as well. And here is, oh man, this guy looks awesome. Snot Rod. Oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan. He's a chunky mini. Love the engine. And yeah, we'll review them all later, so no need to spend much time on them now. Up next is a Cars on the Road pack, a Salt Flats themed one with exclusive Super Speeder Mater. This pack here has also Datz Jammin and the Road Trip Lightning McQueen that we already unboxed. And Datz Jammin was also released in the single boxes, so that's why they don't label him as new, but he is brand new. And so that's why I'll be, technically getting 2 minis out of this pack that I don't have. Yeah, I'm super excited to check out Super Speeder Mater, so let's not waste any more time. What might have been more wise for me is to have bought the mini single version of Ivy. And then I would have skipped out on the pack there with her, Mater, and Road Trip McQueen. Then got in this and had 3 new minis at one time. But like I was saying, it really is hard to kind of plan ahead. So here's another Road Trip Lightning McQueen. Looks identical to the one we already yoinked. Let's take a look at Datz Jammin here. Really nice. He's got the same finish that the 155 scale version has. Super smooth. Wow. This guy came out great as a mini. But is he better than Super Speeder Mater? I don't think so. This has got to be one of the heaviest Maters or mini racers ever released. I mean, this is a chunky mini. I am land speed. I love that. This guy's awesome. Yeah, so we'll take a look more at him later. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just literally in awe looking at him there. All right, so that leaves us with 3 boxes. We're going to start with this one. This was from the wave before the current wave. And it should be metallic. Road Trip Lightning McQueen. Oh no, he's got a gigantic chip on the spoiler there. Not ideal, but unfortunately they don't put any packing in with the minis anymore. They used to of course they used to come in bags, so there was a little packing there. Then even in the boxes they used to come with a little packing, and now they don't. Like, the box is completely empty, which is really disappointing because you can hear them like banging around in there. I mean, that's a thin piece of cardboard. It's not going to protect them. And so this is stuff that happens. That's quite disappointing because that's a big chip. Oh well, think I'll live. Now that, if you guys were wondering, by the way, that number is 39. So if you see a green horizontal box, 39, you know what it is. As for this one, this is in the current wave here, hitting Fry stores. I found this actually at a store myself. Number 3, I think this is going to be Cruz. Yep, this is your Cars on the Road Cruz Ramirez, who they're calling, well, they did call Racing Center Cruz Ramirez, and now they're calling her Rust-eze Dynaco Cruz Ramirez, which really doesn't make any sense. But yeah, looks like she's in good shape, thankfully. I'm grateful for that. And last but not least is one that I'm really excited for. It's number 1. None other than, if this is not who I think it is, it's going to be really embarrassing. None other than Rumbler Mater. Oh yeah, it's him all right. I see the mace. I see the guns. Oh my god, this has got to be another phenomenal mini over the last couple years. They're just putting out some good Maters, man. You have Super Speeder Mater. You have Rumbler Mater. They're doing some good stuff with Mater. And yeah, our first diecast look at this character variant in general. Instead, you have the McDonald's version, but you don't have a Tomica, Disney Store, and obviously nothing else from Mattel. So really cool. All right, I'll be right back, and we can review all these individually. All right, we're going to start with the McQueens first. The one in the center came out of the Ivy pack, and the one on the right came out of the Salt Flats pack with Datz and Super Speeder Mater. I have both versions of the 155 scale here. I think the expression is more similar, honestly, to the newer variant that they just released in 2023 Singles KC, just kind of based on the expression there. The models are a little different for sure, but yeah, it's kind of interesting that this expression is even different from the ones that we see on the full-size versions, because you even get like a little eyelid there at the bottom. But zooming in here, you have the Cars on the Road logo there, which I still think's tacky, but it is what it is, with the radiator cap mounting there. Not too many decals to have to do on this guy. You still have the Lightyear tires, red rims, 95 gradient bolt there, gas cap, and a teeny little 95 there on the back. Base code is R30, meaning he was made during the 30th week of 2022. Now it says copyright 2016 because that is when they started producing this Mini Racers line. That is when the Mini Racers line went into production. And this is the same model, obviously, as the McQueens that they released way back when. And they started with the regular version. They did Fabulous soon thereafter. And, well, the Cars 3 version. It's kind of funny how they went about it. They went about it in a really backwards way, starting with all the Cars 3 versions first. And yeah, these do look identical between packs. Maybe the one on the right actually looks a little brighter, but I wouldn't consider it a full-on variant. Let's see when this guy was made. R45, and yeah, it's a different stamping there. Interesting. So 15 weeks later. Now here you have the metallic version, which looks good. Looks like a metallic should. The expression almost looks a little different. Like the eyelids seem to be closer, like a little bit squeezed together. Or maybe I'm just seeing things. I'm trying to see something I want to see. They made the bolt like gold, which is actually really cool. And the windows are also kind of like silvery chrome. So not just the red was made metallic, everything kind of was. So I appreciate that, except for the rims though. Let's see when this guy was made. R29, wow, so 1 week before the one from the Ivy pack. Interesting. So yeah, there you have it with the McQueens, or the road trip ones. Here is your gold Cruisin Lightning McQueen now. Comparing it to the regular version, they have different expressions, which is honestly really surprising. Instead of the kind of like squinty eyes, he's got much more straightforward, normal eyes there, but the models are the same. Now, this is a good release for sure. The wheels look to be bigger, like they have a bigger diameter there. See how much kind of more condensed they are on the red one. Interesting. Both of these are, technically metallic. They use that kind of paint. Yeah, you could see, I guess the road trip one's a little shinier, but almost the same. So yeah, really cool. Let's get the 155 scale version up in here. So much darker, but that's kind of how, that's just kind of what happened when Thailand started making metallic stuff. Like, their metallics became darker and a little bit, obviously, grainier. Thailand's very much so known for that. Yeah, good stuff. I remember getting this guy on eBay loose. I did not get the DVD pack, so I went years without having a metallic Rescue Squad Mater. All right, next up is Carbon Racer Shu Todoroki. So here is your 155 scale version of him. He's actually one of the rarer Carbon Racers because he wasn't released in the United States at retail. It's kind of what happened with a lot of the T-Rock stuff. It kind of like the later waves are always rare, like Ice Carla and Rip. They were found in the US, but it was the last wave, and so definitely rarer. So he's got a little bit of a lighter gray because this is almost black, and that's all supposed to be carbon fiber. He's got kind of his usual expression, the growl face. Shu's always been the most intimidating looking World Grand Prix racer. I like that he's got the correct rims there with the red trim. Looks really good. Excuse me, guys. CRC, Carbon Racer Cup. My spoiler's a little bendy here. Look at that. You can see how askew it is. But yeah, I mean, this release won't be looked upon as anything evil unless they truly do think that this is the normal version of him. Now, what I like about Carbon Shu is that each side is different, like the decals are different. So you can see on this side, you have the T-Rock logo along with the actual trophy, which is very hard to see right by my fingernail there. Much easier to see on the 155. And number 7, CRC. We'll see what happens. I feel like there's something brewing. I feel like we might be in good shape. Either we're in good shape or we're going to be completely screwed over. Anyways, here is Ivy. Now, the only thing I can really compare her to is the plastic version from the Circus playset that came out last fall. Really hope they do a diecast version of her in 155 soon. But yeah, this is a really nice mini. She's got really nice turns. She's got a little bit of suspension there, so it's a nice piece. Don't get too many mini racers that are monster trucks, so this one's pretty cool. I do love the metallic finish. I still am perplexed that they went this direction because they could have done regular Ivy and then released this one as metallic Ivy as they did with Road Trip McQueen. But they're like, nah, we're just going to give them the metallic one right off the bat and let them guess as to whether or not we do a regular version. But yeah, I like that they added the taillights there. I don't know what this contraption is called right here. So if you guys know, let me know in the comment section below. But they added that, which is not even on the plastic version. You have the light bar there, the flames, rims are painted. This one's also R30, obviously. Good stuff. This is a really nice mini. I just wish, I don't know, I just am curious why they went the metallic route. I mean, that's really all. It looks really good. Like, look at how it's like blue here and then the gradient converts over to teal. So, yeah, I like it. All right, who do we go with next? I'm going to go with this Cruz Ramirez here from, of course, the last episode of Cars on the Road. Getting hitched. Wow, I'm shocked that they completely missed that detail. They did not put the 51 on the roof there. That's kind of unlike mini racers. They don't usually miss details that are that large. Even though they have to condense everything down, they don't miss stuff like that. So that's a little surprising. I do like the expression, though. It seems to be a little bit different from the normal mini racer expression that they give her. The rims are also different. They are like almost brown. Yeah, they look brown to me. I know that's going to sound really weird, and you'd think that they would be black like they should be, because they aren't supposed to be gray like this either. So there's inaccuracies on both sides here, but yeah, they look more brown to me. Huh. But you still do have the 51 and Dynaco there, exhaust pipes, gas cap, no window bars, taillights, which are much darker, and the 51 right there with the Cruz emblem in the center. When was she made here? R40. All right. Also copyright 2016 because that's when Cruz first came out, whereas Ivy probably will have a much later date. Oh, wow, she's not even copyrighted at all. Oh, she must be, but it's under the like gold chassis here. Isn't that so weird? Look at this, guys. You could see the Disney Pixar text on the gray, but there are only a couple codes here on the gold chassis. So I'm sure the copyright number or year is on the gray part, but we could take a look here at Shu Todoroki. I'm just very curious. Yeah, 2021, that makes sense. R25, by the way, on him. So even though Shu's a 10-plus-year-old character, that was the first time they made him as a mini, so that's when they copyright him. All right, let's do Datz Jammin now. I have to say, in terms of accuracy between the mini racer and the 155 scale, like similarity, I'd have to, give it to him. I mean, they are almost identical in every way, shape, or form. Like similar expressions. The smile is a little bit more conservative, I guess you could say. But, you have the 08 there on the hood. The textures are just so similar. It's a little bit smoother on the 155 scale, but same type of deal on the mini. And they both look really good. 08, both have the salty bases, which I don't like, but that's just what we have to live with. And on the back, the mini racer almost went above and beyond by making it, the same texture, the same like material as the rest of them. Whereas on the diecast, this piece here is actually plastic, so they weren't able to give it that kind of like Zamac bare metal look with the plastic, but they gave it their best effort. They cloudied up the gray. But yeah, both have the exhaust there and the parachute, and my light just went off, so I'll be right back with that back on. Taking a look at the base for Datz, he's R45, so the most recent one I think we've come across, the 45th week of 2022. Yeah, super aerodynamic, a nice mini, and don't be surprised if we get more Salt Flats racers as minis soon, whether it be Revo Koss, Gerson Marshall, Royce Resley, whoever it is, I am sure that they're coming. All right, let's do Snot Rod next. I really, really like this guy, guys. I can't express it enough. He's not quite as wide as I thought he'd be. Like, I feel like he's a little bit disproportionate, but again, a chunky mini for sure. Like, he's solid. They were able to paint the orange circles there in his blown engine, which looks really good. They have the SR logo even in his grill there. He's got his nice long smile. His eyes concentrated behind the blown engine. One thing I'm a little disappointed about is they didn't give the red line stripes on the tires. They did like the red trim for Shu there, but they didn't do the trim on the tires. You do have the exhaust pipes that peek out from underneath. The black stripe that has Snot Rod kind of engraved into it. SR on the back and the blue license plate. There are many. There's like a couple variations of Snot Rod where the license plate's a different color, but blue is the correct one and the one that they've settled on. So cool stuff. When was this guy made? R45 again, even though him and Datz are in completely different like formatted releases, so kind of coincidental. And a much lighter engine on this 155 scale version. There's another, there's so many variants, but yeah, they did do Snot Rod with a much darker engine like on the Mini here. Yeah, this one's pretty new from 2016. Yeah, so a big fan of him. Him and DJ look really amazing together. Poor Snot Rod's got to be thinking all the time, like, what the hell, man? Why am I the one that has the allergy problem? Why am I the odd man out all the time? All right, last but definitely not least are the Maters. We're going to start with Rumbler Mater here first. I am so glad that they gave him all the necessary pieces. A lot of people were worried, oh, is something going to be missing? And nope, you have the mace, you have the gun, you have all of his dots, and you have the horn up here as well. I have nothing to compare him to because, like I said, there is no, color changer, no Tomika, no nothing. Except for McDonald's, of course. But, yeah, no. We're not going to be comparing mini racers to McDonald's Happy Meal items. So the gun here on the top is a plastic piece. It moves around a little bit. It's kind of funny that they went back in this direction, although I think they do consider this to be a flamethrower, but it almost felt like they were kind of dipping their toes back in the Cars 2 era with all these, all this weaponry on the cars. But too bad they didn't put like the guns on the side here. Wouldn't that have been awesome? Or if they gave Mater rockets just as like a callback to Cars 2. But yeah, you have the horn here. That is a part of the main metal body that's attached. So this is a new mold. And obviously it is because all these dots are a part of the main metal body. It's almost like Braille. Really cool effect. Really nicely done. He does have some chips again though. There's a chip. One of the dots right there is chip. So I really hate that they don't put any, packaging in the boxes to protect them. No protection at all, guys. No protection is bad in any situation. Now, yep, the mace here is on the back. A little spiky ball. Looks good. That is all plastic, though. R40, made in Thailand. Good stuff. Oh, it's kind of interesting. That's not all on one line. Usually, I think it is. MJ, 1, NL. And last, but truly not least, is now Mater. Super Speeder Mater. Love this guy. So the entire apparatus here in the back is metal. This part down here, this kind of runner board, like you could see below the crack right there, that is plastic, but this top piece is metal. I'm trying to figure out what else is metal here. That hood is metal. I think Mater himself, though, is plastic. So it's kind of interesting how they went about making this one. Yeah, this is definitely plastic up here. Yeah, any like brown piece you see is plastic. These side pieces are plastic, but the hood and this entire apparatus back here is die-cast metal. So that's interesting that they went about it in such a weird kind of stitched together way, but it does still feel super heavy. And I guess they figured like, hey man, we can't really release a die-cast version of this because it would be a deluxe. So, we'll put one in the playset, which I'll dig out here in a second, and then we'll do a mini of it. And that's kind of how they're doing, that's the exact same thing they did with Ivy as well. So seems like that's kind of the formula they're going for. But yeah, he's got a nice smile. Obviously, he's having the time of his life before he gets all torn apart. You can see he's got the little speedometer right there. Japanese characters, because this came from Noriyuki, the mechanic. Number 55, I am land speed. I love that it says that. It's a callback to McQueen's famous catchphrase, I am speed. You have the wrench logo right there, which is present on Noriyuki himself, I believe. If you guys know what these Japanese characters say, though, let me know. I do not. And he also has the salty base with the tires, R45. So comparing him to the full-scale version from that playset, the Salt Flats playset, completely different expressions. They went with a lighter gray, and that kind of makes sense. Whenever anything's plastic, it tends to be a lighter color than it should be. The speedometer there is much higher, much more lifted off, and the hood is much more like stitchy. You can see all these bolts here, whereas this is more of a solid piece. 55, a lot less decals on the apparatus here than on the Mini, so you get more details on something smaller. But yeah, missing the Japanese characters, missing the stripe and all that. Really cool. Now these blasters don't even look like blasters, like they aren't opened up or anything on either side. Like they should be. You can see here that they're open, but they aren't on the Mini. So they just kind of look like big tubes on the side of Mater, even though they are what is propelling him to go so fast and almost to his death. He saved himself though. And yeah, guys, that is all. I do want to show you this gray or this green semi-cab. I reviewed him back in November, I think, but he is in the newest wave of mini boxes, which consists of technically 4 new releases, being these 4. They are 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 as the codes on the boxes. So if you're at Fry's, Kroger's, Fred Meyer's, H-E-B, and you want them, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going to be your lucky numbers. Also being found at Fred Meyer's right now are those Dino Cruisers, the ones that are in eggs. They're not even in the mini boxes anymore. They're in eggs, which is really cool. And they just about released every single Dino available. And I did a review on almost all of those back in November. I was able to get them early. I had all of them except for the, what's his face? West Philanthropus. So hopefully I can get that one soon. I'll probably do like a separate review on it. I don't know. Maybe. It's kind of a weird video to do, but I want to show it to you guys. So hopefully I can get that soon. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys soon for another video. Bye now.